Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. This webinar will be recorded, and also there'll be a chance to ask questions at the end. You can ask questions through the questions panel on your GoToWebinar application. We may be able to respond to some of the questions as they come in. If not, we'll wait till the end to answer your questions. Today, we're focusing on Acembly, our partner who we've collaborated with to develop a cloud platform that allows you to migrate data to the cloud. My name is Elton Canero, and I'm the Director of Strategic Partnerships and Cloud Services here at FileCatalyst. And joining me today is Patrick Kennedy and Michael Asadurian from Acembly.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this morning.
Yeah, so I guess to begin with, I'll give you guys a quick overview on FileCatalyst, who we are, what we do. So FileCatalyst is a company that we develop file transfer acceleration software. Our focus is to create those solutions and tools that allow you to move data securely, efficiently, and reliably across any network. It leverages a patented algorithm that allows you to maximize your bandwidth and get full usage out of your link and transfer files, really quickly. We've been around for over 17 years, and we have a lot of experience in the media and broadcast space as well as other verticals when it comes to transferring large files. Apart from transferring files from on-premise and local storage and NAS and SAN, we also have support for object storage, which is the key focus of this webinar today. When it comes to file transfer, you also need to have a way to manage those transfers and see what's happening in your network. So we have tools that allows you to, monitor and manage all the transfers going on your network. And in addition to that, we also provide APIs that allow you to integrate, develop against, as well as consume our accelerated file transfer algorithms within your applications. And it's a really simple application. As you'll see today, we'll be doing a demo later on that you can see how easy it is to, one, integrate FileCatalyst as well as use FileCatalyst within another platform. So if you've not heard, we've won a couple of Emmys in the media and broadcast space for our work we've done in, for the Olympics, as well as being recognized by the, media and broadcast industry as being a major player when it comes to file transfer. Some of our customers, in the space, in the media and broadcast space, we have a number of them, but also you'll notice that we sell into other verticals, oil and gas, medical, IT, corporate, basically anyone who has a need for moving large files. And at this point, I'll hand it over to Patrick to give you a quick introduction on Acembly. Patrick?
Great. Thanks so much, Elton. We're thrilled to be a partner with FileCatalyst. We started working with Elton and his team last year in 2016 to embed FileCatalyst within Acembly. We started building Acembly earlier in 2016 with a focus of simplifying management over a multi-storage and new technologies infrastructure within one interface in the age of cloud services and APIs. Our team has been working with a wide range of media and broadcast companies here in Los Angeles as well as across the country and internationally. And we've built Acembly to partner with and develop in a kind of a new way of systems integration and to manage your infrastructure and the services that you need to deliver your business requirements from a simple SaaS interface. The features that we have on Acembly as of today, which you can go and log in, and we'll give you more information on a free trial by the end of this call or webinar. But the primary features that we currently have are our Acembly File Accelerator, which is engined by FileCatalyst, which we'll show you shortly. You can transfer from any local storage to the cloud and back in what we believe is the easiest way for the highest performance possible on the market today. We've built a lot around AWS services, specific S3 management. So we have tools around S3 management, complete AWS analytics. Once you sign up your AWS account credentials to Acembly, you will have access to all of your AWS services immediately on Acembly's dashboard. File sharing via email and links we have available as of today. We have simple drag and drop capabilities with access controls. And we also have embedded a leading high-performance cloud. We have a private cloud in our data center at One Wilshire in downtown Los Angeles. As many of you probably know, there are several challenges with moving to the cloud. Number one is you have to adapt to a whole new set of technologies that are now available, which are much easier, and if managed properly, much more cost-effective than ever before. Moving away from the conventional 3 to 5 year infrastructure commitment, if designed and delivered properly, you can get to the cloud and start managing a whole new set of tools and services within a short period of time. Some of the primary challenges are slow transfers into an object storage with the requirements needed in the media and entertainment workspace that it just won't work unless you have a technology like FileCatalyst in order to move and manage the large files. Encryption is a big one. Encryption's on a roadmap. It's going to be available end-to-end encryption on Acembly within a month. We have that in our dev, and we're just about to push it live shortly. Managing your buckets and having visibility into your buckets is a problem, and we're able to give you that transparency as well as the cost management. So you see exactly what your costs are with transfer, with storage, with other services on Acembly here. So we're trying to attack a lot of the problems and bring solutions again within one interface. Elton, did you want to touch on S3 Accelerator and why it doesn't quite serve the purpose that a lot of media companies need to move to an S3 environment?
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, absolutely. So, we're talking about moving files to the cloud. There's always ways that some providers will try and provide to accelerate those file transfers. As you guys are all familiar, the entire S3 interface is HTTP, which is built over the TCP protocol. And the whole reason that, we're able to survive is because TCP is slow. So we have our own patented algorithm that allows you to perform transfers over UDP. So, what Amazon has done is they've gone ahead and provided what they call as the S3 Accelerator that allows people to accelerate file transfers to the cloud by leveraging, their CloudFront technology. The idea is that you upload your file to the closest CloudFront edge server, and then from there, it's on an optimized network that goes into your S3 bucket. So is it faster than regular S3 transfers? Yeah, it's slightly faster depending where you are in the world and how close you are to the closest, CloudFront edge server. So what Amazon has also done is provided tools online that allow you to sort of simulate traffic from your web browser. Since it's all HTTP uploads, the upload is happening straight from your web browser. So it allows you to simulate exactly how fast. And during some of the testing I've done, in some cases, if you're close to the edge, it's quick. But if you're transferring files, from your location to an edge server that's not quite close, you will experience slow transfers. So some of the cons is that if you think of, wanting to use the S3 Accelerator, it needs to be enabled on each bucket you want to transfer files into. So what this means is that you have to have, management access, log into your bucket, be able to enable the acceleration, understand which endpoint to use as, in addition, you need full API access to that bucket. So for someone who's not a technical person, this can be very challenging. So if you look at how we compared FileCatalyst, FileCatalyst is basically running in EC2, and the acceleration is happening from your machine, from your browser, straight into EC2, and EC2 is in the same infrastructure as Amazon S3 storage, so the latency is really slow. So what we do is we accelerate, maximizing the transfer from your machine all the way into EC2, using our patented algorithms to maximize your bandwidth. And then as the file comes in, we directly stream it into S3 storage. So we don't store it in local cache, we don't store it in local disk. It's basically just a pass-through. We convert all that UDP traffic into HTTP and basically put that file into your desired bucket. In terms of adaptation of software, new technologies, you don't have to worry about enabling anything on S3. It all works seamlessly from your machine.
Awesome. Thanks, Elton. That was great. So let's jump into Acembly File Accelerator, which is the name of our feature that we have embedded FileCatalyst with, in some of the core functions and capabilities of Acembly File Accelerator, which once again we'll show to you in just a moment. The speed, we can move files up to 10 gig depending on your infrastructure from a single interface from your desktop. Security, we have encryptions and ACLs in place. The ease of use is a big deal for us. We know other primary file accelerators in this space, and in my experience in working with them and in working with customers, the ease of use is still a little bit of an issue getting started, and then the ability to drag and drop and to move things around in a simple fashion without dependencies of other technologies within their suites is something that we've focused on. With Acembly, you just log in, you can get to the services page, and you can start using File Accelerator immediately after you've connected your AWS bucket or your AWS account. You'll have access to all of your buckets. Secure file sharing, and we've made that very simple as well. Manage files from a single interface. Soon we're going to have the ability, you're able to add new directories and new folders within the page, and soon we're going to give you the ability to add S3 buckets. In our roadmap, within the next 6 months, we're going to spend more resources focused on Azure and Google, but we have primarily focused on AWS and our own private cloud to get started, along with a few other leading storage components in the media space. But giving you the capability to create new buckets on the fly and name them and move them around and share them according to your requirements is something that we've focused on as well. Cost monitoring is a big deal for us. Having transparency, not getting tied into to licenses or commitments over a 1 to 3 year period where you're not going to, your organization is not going to use it, or if you just want a new way of doing it per the way that you want to spend, we want to give you the ability to either make a commitment for a larger volume or just use it as you need it, which is what the SaaS world and the new cloud services world is all about. And as a service, and being able to monitor, we'll give you notifications, we'll allow you to put alerts and controls around your cost and your usage. The Acembly roadmap, we have a lot of things that are coming out very shortly, including encryption, as I mentioned before. We're going to have transcoding as a service that we're really excited about, to be able to offer that in a simple fashion. Watermarking as well. We're going to have an Acembly desktop app. So after you've signed into Acembly, or for however you want to use Acembly, we will have an app in place where there's a folder where the Acembly will run in the background all the time, and so you have access to all of our services and our management tools from your desktop if you did not want to go through the internet. Federated search throughout your entire S3 infrastructure, as well as any storage that's connected to Acembly. We're going to have that in place very soon. And then automated transfer, setting up automation for either backups or archiving or primary business requirements for your day-to-day requirements, either sharing or moving data around the way that you need to. And now we'll show you a demo of Acembly. We'll turn the screen over to Michael. Michael is the CTO for Acembly, and he will walk you through the primary functions.
Hello, everyone. Patrick, thanks for the intro. So this is basically the login page for the Acembly. I'll start from the login. And okay, so we have three high-level breakdowns of sections in our app, which consist of storage, hybrid, and services. And I will go through each one of them. The first page, which is storage, you can manage your storages. As Patrick mentioned, we are focused on Amazon S3 at this point of time. We have our own Acembly private cloud, which would support high-performance private cloud supporting SSD and a lot of cool features if you want to take a look at that when you have a trial, Kindle and Google. So let's go with the Amazon. The way the Amazon is connecting to us is pretty simple. If you have an Amazon account, you can generate the API key, API secret key, and just put a logical name and connect to that, which we already have one populated here for the demo, and we just call it S3. It shows the number of storages, the amount of usage. You are able to go and create alerting for yourself, like the maximum storage that you want to get notified through the email, and this is one that I did for the demo. And you can also do the maximum cost as well and get notification on any bucket. Let's go back. Then you can edit it, you can remove it. I mean, just a storage management from high level. Then the hybrid page gives you more visibility, and we add more as we go. It gives you breakdown of each bucket, the region, the creation date, the usage, the cost associated to each bucket, and this is something that you can't find it in Amazon console or the billing page. You need to do a lot of work, download the detailed billing, and then do filtering to get this data. And we are adding more information as far as the breakdown, which will come as far as analytics, complete set of analytics in 2 weeks. That's our plan and timeline for that piece.
And Michael, just really quickly, why can't users get it directly from the console? Can you specify? You're talking about breaking out the cost specific to the S3 usage.
Yes, there are lots of so Amazon make it difficult either because of politics that they have for their pricing, or they don't want to open everything to the user. The way they're doing is they give it to you, but it's a detailed Excel file that you need to download, and then you need to filter based on that. And the other reason behind it is there are so many, they call it operation level. So let's say if you just click to open a bucket, then there might be a cost associated to that. If you just list it, you just pull a file, you change the permission, every operation, every click, let's say, you do, it might have a cost to that. And that's not visible to users. Most of the users think, oh, Amazon is 3 cents, 2 cents, or 4 cents a gig for the service, and that's it. In reality, in the behind the scene, it's not the case. Behind the scene, there are lots of operations that the users are paying for, and we are trying to make that cost, a different type of cost, visible to the user, so the user can just go hover over the cost and see the list of it. And we are going to provide every detail, and I'm stressing again, every detail of the cost in our analytics page pretty soon. Did I answer your question, Patrick?
Great. Yes, thank you.
And I'm getting that question when I'm doing demo for customers, and that's not a surprise, actually. A lot of customers, they love this feature. They're like, okay, when can we see that? Because you're right, our finance is asking us how much does it cost for this service, for that service, and we can't answer that. So this is going to help users to be able to answer those type of questions to the finance team and understand what's going on their environment. So let's go to the main feature that we have a webinar today for that, which is our accelerated file transfer backed by FileCatalyst. So it's pretty straightforward. When you open the page, the FileCatalyst agent loads behind the scene and then connects to AWS, and we connect to the local environment. So I have just my laptop here, so that's why you don't see any drive. But if you're in an enterprise environment and you have map drive, you have SAN, something that you have access to, it will pop up here. Whatever you see in your local browser, it will show you here, and you can basically go to any folder that you want. And I created this upload test so we can do some testing. Same thing on the other side, which is your cloud, and you can have multiple accounts on S3, and you can select anything you want as far as which account is, and then we'll pull the list of buckets. With just clicking, you can just go into the buckets and check and see what you have. You can rename a file, and this is one of the features that we are supporting is renaming. Let's say test .xyz, and then you just do the rename. Okay, and same thing with the delete. You can just delete the file, and we'll remove it and confirmed. So deleted successfully. Same thing for the local. On top of that, creating directory at this point is available. So if you want to create a directory inside a bucket, it's functional, and you can use that. You can just say, I want to do the test bucket, and then create it. That's it, and it's pretty fast. It's not like you don't need to wait until it's done its job. Then you can just go to the new bucket, and if you want to transfer a file, let's say a sample file, I want to transfer 1, 2, 3 files, then I just hit upload and start uploading, which I'll show you at the end, because I want to explain a couple other things before we do that. We also support the access control, and this is another pain. When you want to change ACL on a file, you need to log into the console, go to the bucket, go to the file, and then go to the permissions, and then select the permissions or change it, or however you want to do it. Is just multiple steps that you need to take to be able to change the access level on the file. Well, we made this easy. You can just select public read, private, public read write, and also we provided information here which is reviewing every access list, the permissions and access list, that what that means and what you can do, and also another link to the Amazon itself that you can just go and read as much as you want to select the correct access control, and we apply that to the file when we upload it. So let's just do just one upload, so it will be quick. When we do the upload transfer through the FileCatalyst, as Elton mentioned, this is a high-speed transfer, and when we do the transfer, it goes UDP. It can go up to 10 gig speed, so we can, if there is an ask for it, we can provide up to 10 gig speed for the file transfer, and same thing for the download. You just download it if you need to. And the other feature is the web link, which this is a pretty cool and handy feature. If I want to send something to some file to a colleague or a friend or anywhere through the email, I can just go select the file, then the share will pop up, type an email, and that's it, and just send it, and then email will show up in the inbox, which gives the link, and I can just click on the link and download it, and that's it. It's very handy. It's pretty cool feature, and it's not only for the new uploaded files. You can also use for any files that you have in your buckets. You can just click on multiple files and do the do the same thing and send it to your customers. Also, we are for just sake of visibility, because we believe on visibility and open that to customers. We are capturing the amount of transfers, how much does it cost for last month, this month, and last 24 hours. Also, a feature here which you can just click on it and see how many files transferred. What was the cost associated with that? So I just uploaded like 2 minutes ago, and it's right there. So it's real time, and shows uploads, downloads, every direction. File name. If it's multiple files, it will pop up here. So here are 2 files. If it's more, it doesn't matter. If it's 10, it will show you the list of the files. So you can go and say, oh, I did upload this files and which bucket I uploaded to. And it's kind of like give you a report. We're going to add more as we go on to this as well, but so far it's good enough for 99% use of transfer history. So just want to conclude the demo. So this is basically what we have, and a lot coming in next 2 months to up to encryption that Patrick mentioned, and a lot of cool other features, including transcoding as well. So Patrick, back to you.
Thank you. If we could stay on this page for a second here.
Sure.
Where users will be able to manage and access the various services is just in that services dropdown. So the same way, and we do have several others in place. We wanted to focus on Acembly File Transfer, or I'm sorry, Acembly File Accelerator for this webinar today. But as far as transcoding, as far as applying encryption in a wide range watermarking, we're trying to keep the usability and the experience as simple as possible. So we're excited about challenging ourselves continuously to make that experience and the management of your infrastructure and your workflows and your services requirements as simple as possible. One thing that we're looking to do right now, we just launched Acembly in July. So we're new to the market, and we've gotten great response. We're engaged with a number of early customers, but one thing that we're looking for are more early customers to give us feedback or any requirements to customize it per your needs. Anyone on this call, if you see what we're doing here and you see an opportunity to customize it, we have a very talented development team and management group. So as we are still early stage, we're excited to connect with some early adopters and build it out according to your specific requirements. As you all know, that's not as easy to do down the road. So just throwing that out there so that you're all aware of that. So with that, Elton, I think we can move to the Q&A.
Yeah, it's questions time. Michael, by the way, thank you very much for that, really good in-depth, detailed demo that you provided. And I'm hoping our viewers could, appreciate, what we've done together and what we've built, and, can soon start using it and adopting it as part of their day-to-day workflows and day-to-day operations. Yeah, so we'll wait for some questions to come in. So it looks like we have a couple coming in. So I guess this one is around automation of transfers. So Patrick, you mentioned that you guys are looking at developing an app, like a desktop app. Can you talk more about the automation of transfers? Is that something that users can leverage right now, or do they have to wait until the desktop app is developed?
They will probably come out around the same time. We're going to have a folder where users can put some customizable some orchestration around their requirements. If it's daily backups, if it's moving moving data from one cloud to another or one bucket to another for whatever the requirement might be. We're going to have that automation tool in place, and we're going to continue to build it out as we grow. But the desktop app and the automation, they're probably going to be released around the same time, which we're shooting for September 15th. But as we put earlier in the presentation, definitely by October 1st.
Great. That's awesome. There's another question coming in. Is cost monitoring, is it just available with S3 right now, or Azure and some others will have this feature too?
Cost monitoring will be available for anything that is connected or used on Acembly. So if it's our private cloud, if it's we have a few other storage enterprise storage products that we've developed with, including Cumulo, and a few other on-premise storage. Anything that you connect to Acembly, you'll have cost monitoring and transparencies into the usage. So yes, it'll apply to Azure, it'll apply to other public clouds, private clouds, and any services that are used on Acembly.
Yeah, great. And on that note, we are looking at bringing FileCatalyst acceleration to those different clouds apart from Amazon, and that's in the roadmap as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's another question coming in. Will Acembly be able to connect to a customer's private cloud of its own using the FileCatalyst technology that's embedded within Acembly?
Yes, I'll turn that over to Michael on how we'll do that. But yes, not only our own private cloud, which we're extending to users. We have security and controls around our private cloud, and it's a major data center hub here in Los Angeles with connectivities around the world. But we've worked with a couple of our early customers' private clouds to connect to theirs in order to leverage FileCatalyst, Acembly File Accelerator. Michael, do you want to touch on that just a little more?
Yes. Well, the answer is yes, and actually we have a customer that we are looking into providing a similar service, and that's why we have the desktop application and developing for that reason. And that desktop application will be a desktop server application as well, which the user can install in a data center on a server, and then it will be manageable from our web page. So it will be kind of a server, remote server that will be managed through our application, and then the use cases will be to associate a virtual folders, associate a bucket, and do the automation for the transfer, kind of a watch folder thing, and also on top of that doing the encryption if it's needed on that type of files. Also monitoring with the tags and doing movements with that. So we are looking into those type of solutions. I would that's a great question. I would encourage you, whoever asked the questions. Elton, I can't see the name.
Yeah, I'll provide the details after the call.
Okay, I would love to have a follow-up discussion and see what is the use case, and then we are developing similar thing. If there is a small tweak, then we can absolutely bring it into our application to support that need.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like those are the questions we've got in so far. If there's anyone who has any other questions or have any comments, I encourage you to request them or question them now. Otherwise, we'll be closing the webinar soon. So I guess Patrick, as part of the closing statements here, on the screen we have a free trial that we're offering right now. And you can access the free trial from www.filecatalyst.com/Acembly, Acembly. And if you go to this page, you'll get an overview of what Acembly is about as well. A video talking about moving data to the cloud, as well as a sign-up link. And if you use the link, you will benefit from getting your first 7 days and 50 gigabytes of the transfer to the cloud free. After that, until the end of September, we're offering a 50% discount on data charges. So anything any amount of transfers you do to the cloud, we'll be giving you a discount of 50% on that. And there is no credit card required to sign up, so we encourage you to take the free trial, see what it is, get a feel for it, play with it. If you have any questions, comments, encountering any issues, or if you'd like to learn more or have any feature requests, you can contact myself, Elton, and you can use the techpartners@filecatalyst.com email, or you could contact Patrick and Michael using the contact@Acembly.com.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Patrick, I'm getting another question here. Inside Amazon's cloud, do you manage just S3, or can you interact with different storage levels in Amazon offers? Meaning that if you want to move from S3 to a cheaper service inside Amazon, can you do so? So I'm guessing they're talking about Glacier or other.
Sure. Yes, we are looking into that as well. Glacier is a little challenge as far as technical world goes, but we are excited to work on that and add that as a feature for when we are talking about automation. One of the pieces that we're thinking is automation between S3 and Glacier. So start looking into the file transfer behavior and the user behavior, and then start offering like AI type solutions which will automate the file transfer from S3 to Glacier, which obviously it will be offering manual transfer as well. So that's something that we are doing the research and work on it. We are not talking about it as a roadmap, but we have it for a long roadmap. But obviously Patrick can add more if you have interest, and we can prioritize that too.
Well, we're actually working with one of the larger broadcasters on this very thing as we build out their cloud infrastructure, or help them build out their cloud infrastructure in AWS. We're setting up backup and disaster recovery design for them, or in support of them. And so that very function, moving in between various storage, including elastic files storage, and other storage capabilities within the AWS services, but Glacier as an archival, it actually is a requirement that we're trying to execute by the end of this year. And if there is a need to move on that faster, if there was a project, then we would be sure to prioritize it accordingly.
Good.
One other thing I wanted to mention, sorry, Elton, is getting back to the trial and the 50% off the data rates. I want to emphasize that this, in comparison to some of the competitors in the market, I think you would find that these rates are extremely competitive. So if you use Aspera, Signy, and any other high-speed transfer services, which are great, they're fine. But when it comes to the testing and the capabilities of the transfers and the costs associated, I strongly encourage you to explore our solution here, because there's going to be a lot of cost savings when compared to those services, and I don't really want to hold back in pushing that message, because I think it's a very important one. I think there's a lot of room for there to be cost benefits with our solution here, as well as competing on the technology side as well as any services in the market. So I just want to emphasize that point, that the data rates are very competitive, and we would love to run through scenarios or usage what your requirements are for 2018. Would love to have that discussion with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're absolutely right, Patrick, on that. And seeing is believing. So do try it out. There is no commitment, no credit card required. Just, play with it, and your feedback is important to us. One of the things, Patrick, I was going to bring up based on the last comment talking about moving, content to Glacier. This is a common use case. It's a common, event that happens in the media and broadcast space where you have data on, on local storage, on your SANs, and rules behind that are driven either by the media asset manager to move that to archive. What are your thoughts on how people can leverage Acembly through third-party applications like various MAMs, various other transcode applications that need to move that content to the cloud once they're done processing it in a specific way?
Sure. So we are currently working with several technology partners other than you guys at FileCatalyst. We're working with a few different MAM groups. We're working with encoding.com on our transcoding services. We're working directly with AWS on a wide range of services, so we're actually working with one of their enterprise teams. But when it comes to the feedback we've gotten early is Acembly can be very valuable when supporting other technologies. And that was kind of the concept and the philosophy and the vision from the beginning is we want to integrate and partner with the best of technologies and companies that believe in the same vision where partnerships and integrations of the leading technologies and then servicing those in the easiest way possible within one interface is the vision. So for example, there's a well-known MAM that we're working with, and they're well-known throughout the media world internationally, and they don't have certain billing components that we can support. So we've done a lot of work around extending billing to individual buckets, for example, or individual services, and so other technologies could take advantage of Acembly for their billing system or for transparency into their services. Some technologies don't have some of the components that we've built out when it comes to grabbing logs and turning them into costs or usage. And so we can help support certain functions of asset management products that don't currently have those built out, along with some of the primary services like the transfer service and whatever services that they might not have in place, but might embolden or make their solution more powerful. So it's a great question, Elton. We want to support other technologies and ultimately want to make a better experience for the market.
No, that's good. Really, really happy to hear that, you guys are looking at that as well.
Absolutely.
Cool. So I guess this brings it to the end of our webinar, unless you have any other comments, Patrick, Michael?
No, just thank you very much for the time today. We're hoping to work with at least some of you, but please feel free to reach out to us at any time if you have any questions or if you want to test Acembly or if you want to have a conversation with us regarding how it can best support your initiatives. We'll be more than happy to connect with you and hope to work with some of you. And Elton, I want to thank you and the FileCatalyst team for supporting our initiatives and being a great partner.
Oh, you guys are most welcome. We wouldn't have chosen anyone else. You guys have been great, and the technology you guys have put out is outstanding. What you guys have been able to achieve in a short amount of time has been really good. So yeah, so thank you everyone for joining us, and this brings us to the end of our partner spotlight focusing on Acemby. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at us at any point in time. We'll be happy to answer them. And have a good remaining rest of the week. Thank you.